Ewan and Charley, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. How are both of you doing, and how are your bikes after 13,000 miles?
They're good. The bikes get, they were built for us brilliantly by Harley Davidson. We had two prototype motorcycles based on their bike, the Livewire, that they built adventure bikes for us. And of course, when we finish the trip, they're taken back to the factory in Harley Davidson to be examined and poured over and explored to see, what 13,000 miles of sort of somewhat rough terrain can do to a bike. And but I have to say they performed really beautifully.
Right. What about you, Charlie? You're doing good?
Yeah, no, wonderful. And that's fact, I was lent a live wire for the last couple of days, and I've been riding around on it, and I'd forgotten how much I'd actually missed it, and how clever they are. They'll around town they'll do 120, 130 mile range around town, and it's just such a pleasure to go along. And for the first time when you're driving around London, for the first time I can actually hear London, because normally I can just hear a motorbike noise.
Right.
I'm sitting in the traffic lights and I hear these noises, and I think I haven't got my headphones on. And it's people just talking beside us. So I miss our adventure bikes, but
right. Ian, where did you find for me, the eye opener was that you found some kids who had not seen Star Wars. Where was that?
We were in Peru, and we were in a very remote village in the mountains.
Right.
Doing a visit with our friends at UNICEF. One of the project that they look after there was a school that teaches the children in their indigenous language, because in most of South America, the kids are taught in Spanish, but they all have there's I can't remember how many hundreds of languages, Charlie. Do you remember?
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
Indigenous languages, and of course, if the children don't get taught in those languages, then the languages can die out. So UNICEF and their partners help the kids by encouraging the schools to teach them in their language, and you could see the cultural they were there in all their cultural clothing, and all the boys showed us how they could. The boys and the girls, all of them, amazing knitters. It was just a wonderful experience to meet those kids. But in the middle of our visit, they were asking who were we and why were we there, and so we said we were both actors and we both do these adventure trips. Right. And they said, "What films have you been in?" And I started listing them all. They hadn't seen not anything, but of course, there's no reason why they should have done. But it was quite funny.
Yeah, it was. From all the trips that you've done right from the start, what was different this time? When people meet you, do they take more selfies now?
Yeah, we really did on this trip. In cities, only in the cities. But it was quite surprising. I don't know whether it's just, I think it's so far away where we went that I think there aren't. Like Charlie was saying about Buenos Aires, they're just not used to people turning up there, people who from the movies. So it did become an issue when we were in the cities, but it was always fun. People were very nice about it, and it was never a chore,
I think a lot of the time people, when you turn up, and especially when we turned up on these electric Harley Davidsons, and we say, we sit there with a plug in our hand and say, "Oh, do you mind if we come and just plug into your house or to your restaurant and stuff like that?" And people, they were looking and go, "Hey, wow, electric bikes! Where are you going?" You say, "We're going to Los Angeles," and they go, "On electric," So people, it was a real turning point, and we were sort of plugging into people's houses and businesses, but we were also sort of plugging into them a little bit and having a very different experience than just filling up at a petrol station. So I think the electric motorcycles really enhanced the whole trip. I mean, it was very challenging to get it done, but
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Till date, people only went in to plug in their mobiles, and you guys are here with your bikes. Through this trip, what are the moments that will always stay with you all your life?
There were so many lovely moments every day. I mean, it's just sometimes it's a moment by the side of the road or a landscape. Some of the landscapes we went through were amazing. Yeah. But generally speaking, it's the people, and I think our UNICEF visits are very often the most incredible, because we meet those spirited, strong kids who are living in situations that are far from ideal, and but they're always fun. I mean, I don't know. I can several things. I remember the night we were walking along, we met those kids and that were doing the drumming.
Oh, the drumming, yeah.
And we were in the street with these kids who were sort of following us around because we're a couple of white guys in their town, and they're like, "What? Who are these dudes?" You know. And then they followed, and we ended up sort of doing silly dances with them on the street. And then they took us to this drumming. It was just out of nowhere. It was like moments like that. Very often with
Beautiful.
kids.
Beautiful. Right.
They're uninhibited about coming forward to you, which makes it great. You know, you always have good interactions.
Right. There are a lot of bikers that you inspire all over the world. In fact, I'm from India and there are a lot of bikers here. What do you want to tell them lastly, about electric bikes, how important this is?
Oh, well, I think the whole electric movement, and one of the reasons we decided to go electric was because, the whole world is heading that way. And, I mean, in some of your cities in India, the pollution is just horrendous. Yeah. So to try and move that towards electric. But I think the most important thing that we would say to anyone is don't knock it until you've tried it, because when you get on an electric bike, they are so much fun. They accelerate really well. The overtaking power is amazing. They really are good. And if you're in an urban area, a bike like the Livewire will do 120 miles range, which is enough for your day's work.
Great, guys. I can't wait to watch the full season, and looking forward to someday meeting you in person somewhere and taking a selfie.
Yeah. Lovely. Take care. Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you.